Hey, so welcome back to Struck Reality. Today I got the Jeep in the garage, mostly because I had the top off and it was raining, so I just pulled it in the garage. But what I think I'm going to work on today is getting this fender taken care of. It's dented up from the last big trip we went on just a while ago now, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And I want to try and knock it out and get it straightened up the best I can, just so it doesn't look quite so bad and so tweaked. So haven't really done body work like this before, so we'll try it out. So this fender got hit a rock right here. You can see the great big giant rock, bigger than the Jeep, and just bent it in a little bit, as you can see. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the plastic fender in the light, and then see if I can't just pound it out and just straighten it out a little bit. I don't think it's going to be too bad. And then maybe I'll have to get some touch-up paint or something, just take care of that. It's starting to rust up just a little bit. This is not the original fender. The original fender had a big dent in it as well. Big dent right here that really dented it all up, and also here in the middle at that little weak spot. But I got this fender off somebody on eBay a while back, and then had it painted and then swapped out the fenders. So don't feel like going through that again. That's crazy expensive. I mean, a fender's like $150, something like that. It was about another $150 to get it painted and everything. So $300 for a fender just seems ridiculous. So I'm gonna try this and see how it goes. All right, next to all the soda cans, there's the light and all the little brackets. These things are just a little screw through a little plastic backer. Goes through the holes on the back here and then through the fender hole. So it's pretty straightforward stuff. Just getting to them when your fender's all bent up, and this one kind of just pulled out of the plastic, so I really couldn't get to that one. Really tied up in there. But now I got that down and out of the way, and I got the light out of the way, and now I can work on trying to straighten this thing out, get it squared away again. Alright, so I'm making some progress. It's certainly a lot straighter than it was. Flatten this one out. You can still see the little buckle in it, but it's straightened out. It's a little flatter. What's hard is there's a 90-degree angle here, so it comes down and turns, gives it that strength. That was completely buckled up underneath here, so I was down there with the pliers to try and open that back up so I can start squaring this up again. Got this corners cleaned up a little bit. Certainly need some paint, but I'm not quite there yet. I still have a little crease right here, so this is still down just a little bit. This is just tilted down a little bit, so I'm just going to bring it up a little bit more, and I think I'll have it pretty square. And I think at that point I will have it, it's kind of hard with the glare from outside, but I'll have it, you know, close enough Jeep wise, and then I can get some touch-up paint and touch that up. And I think I'll be okay. It just won't be so buckled in, and I can get that fender to lay flat along here. It'll be a big help. So the nice thing is the fender covers up most of this right here. This chewed up part here will all be covered up underneath the outer fender. Because all that gets covered up, I just got to get it square. So try a little bit more, see what we can do. Alright, so I'm getting this thing pretty squared away, I think. I'm going to have to touch it up a little bit in a few little spots, but it seems to hold up pretty good. The one thing that is going to be a little tricky is, because this plastic fender was out of whack for so long, it's not naturally going back into place. It's kind of tweaked. So I just taped it up, try and square it up some so that it sits square, and I think I'm going to try a heat gun on it, you know, to ease the pressure and get it to see if it'll stay in that spot. Got it pretty well squared up. It isn't pretty, but all of this is underneath here, and when I hold this up to what position it will be in, it's pretty straight. pretty close. So I think this is coming along okay, or at least respectably. The fender still bows down just a little bit, just kind of has a little bit of a twist to it, but I'm not sure I can get it all the way out, but at least get it square so it doesn't just look completely lopsided is kind of my goal. So we'll see here. All right, so I let this sit overnight. I used the heat gun on it a few times. Just pulled the tape off out of the way, and this thing is pretty dang straight. Straightened up pretty good, so I think it'll bolt on and look somewhat normal. So I'm gonna get this thing reattached, and this project I think will be kind of done. I do need to touch it up a little bit paint wise, but overall pretty good. All right, so here it is all put together. I know the lighting's not perfect, but it looks straight. You can see the little wrinkle right there. I don't know how I'm going to get that. That's just not going to come out. But it looks pretty straight. It's still toned in a little bit right here, but the fender does match up. This was a little tough. The hole for the light fixture here didn't match up perfectly. I dremeled it a little bit just to smooth it out, pounded on a little bit, trying to get it straightened up. It's still really snug, but I did get it in there. It's kind of a tight little off fit, but it's in there pretty good. So now I've got a decent looking fender again that looks somewhat normal. I mean, I have a Jeep and it's not perfect. It's not a show car, but at least it looks somewhat normal again. So I'm happy about that. So hey, thanks for watching, and we'll have some off-road trips here planned in the near future, and we've got some other projects to do as well, not only on the Jeep but also on the MR2 coming up. So hang in there, and we'll keep plugging away here in the garage. Thanks.